In a small village nestled at the edge of the vast African savanna, lived a young boy named Kofi. The village, with its sun-baked huts and dusty paths, was a place where everyone knew each other. The air was often filled with the sounds of children laughing, goats bleating, and the rhythmic beats of drums during evening gatherings. But Kofi had a different dream, a dream that was sparked by an old, worn-out guitar his father had brought back from the city. Kofi's father, a farmer by trade, had always harbored a love for music. When he stumbled upon the guitar at a market, he couldn't resist buying it, despite its chipped wood and fraying strings. He handed it to Kofi, saying, "This may not look like much, but it has the power to tell stories and share emotions. Learn it well, and you might discover a path of your own." Kofi took those words to heart. Every day after school, while his friends played football or chased goats, Kofi sat under the big baobab tree at the center of the village, plucking at the guitar. At first, the sounds he produced were rough and uncoordinated, but he persisted. He listened to the wind, the birds, and the rhythms of the village, trying to replicate them on the guitar. The instrument became an extension of his soul, and with time, the melodies he created began to reflect the beauty of his surroundings. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, the villagers gathered around the baobab tree to listen to Kofi play. His fingers moved gracefully over the strings, weaving a tapestry of sound that told stories of the land, of the people, and of the dreams that lived in their hearts. The elders nodded in approval, and the children watched in awe, captivated by the magic of his music. Word of Kofi's talent began to spread beyond the village. Travelers who passed through carried tales of the young boy who played the guitar like no other. Soon, a musician from the nearby city, who was scouting for new talent, heard these stories and decided to visit the village. When the musician arrived, he was struck by the sincerity and emotion in Kofi's music. He invited Kofi to the city, offering to mentor him and help him grow as an artist. With the blessing of his family and the entire village, Kofi embarked on a journey that would change his life. In the city, Kofi was introduced to different styles of music, from jazz to blues, and even to the contemporary sounds of the urban scene. But he never forgot his roots. He infused his music with the rhythms of his village, the sounds of nature, and the stories of his people. His unique style soon caught the attention of music producers, and before long, he was recording his first album. The album was a fusion of traditional African sounds and modern influences. It resonated with people not just in the city, but across the country. Kofi's music was different. It was authentic, raw, and filled with emotion. It wasn't long before he was invited to perform at festivals and concerts, first in his country, then across the continent, and eventually, internationally. Kofi's rise to fame was meteoric. He played in grand concert halls and intimate venues, always bringing with him the spirit of his village. His music transcended language and cultural barriers, touching the hearts of people around the world. He collaborated with renowned artists, blending his sound with theirs, creating something entirely new and beautiful. Years later, when Kofi stood on the stage of one of the world's most prestigious music awards, holding a golden trophy, he thought of the baobab tree, the dusty paths of his village, and the old guitar that started it all. In his acceptance speech, he said, "This journey began in a small village where music was a way to tell stories. I dedicate this award to the people of my village and all the children out there with a dream. Never stop playing your music, because one day, the world will hear you." Kofi's story became an inspiration to many, a testament to the power of dreams, perseverance, and staying true to one's roots. And though he traveled the world, played in front of millions, and received countless accolades, Kofi always returned to his village, where it all began, to play under the baobab tree, sharing his music with the people who first believed in him.